We start today in Puerto Rico for our top story, where citizens protested over the weekend outside of Governor's House in La Fortaleza, demanding the resignation of Pedro Pierluisi and the departure of Luma Energy Consortium from Puerto Rico. And according to the resistance movement, the demonstrations will continue until change is achieved. Dozens of people gathered in Old San Juan, bagging pots and pans and carrying signs. Protesters hope that other Puerto Ricans affected by the recent spike in their electric bill, the constant blackouts, and the damaging voltage changes will join them in demonstrating. According to the resolution of the Energy Bureau, it's been a little over a year without the quality service that they once promised on the island. Well, meantime, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, is appealing to teachers who were dismissed last year for refusing to be vaccinated against COVID-19 to reapply to their jobs. He says the Ministry of Education had informed him on Monday that over 50 teachers had reapplied for employment. Some of these teachers have taken the vaccine to get on board, and some remain unvaccinated but have applied for employment. While August 15th was listed as the deadline for those applications, the Prime Minister said he asked for the deadline to be extended to next Monday, August 22nd, as he suspects more teachers may wish to apply. Gonsalves is urging teachers to apply even if they are party to the court case with the teachers, public servants, and other frontline workers, challenging the constitutionality of government's requirements, which they did not follow, and as a result, abandoned their jobs.
Wait until the case where the teachers, public servants, other frontline workers challenging the constitutionality of the government's requirement on which they didn't follow, and as a result, they abandoned their jobs. Put yourself in a possible win-win situation now. Apply for your job. It's not a trick. You can still pursue your case, but apply for your job now. Please listen to me, Newton. Don't let any vanities get involved. I don't have any vanities in this, No. This is another appeal.
The St. Vincent and Grenadines Teachers Union has been calling for reinstatement, rehire, and remuneration. However, the Prime Minister explained that if the government was to reinstate workers, it would be saying the government ought not to have passed the law in the first place. Gonsalves said the law that was passed as part of the COVID-19 measures has been constitutional and that it was a reasonable requirement for a public purpose, that is, public health. Well, meantime, at least 250,000 children still have no access to adequate schools in Haiti. That's a year after, the devastating 7.2 magnitude earthquake that struck northwestern Haiti. That's as United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, or UNICEF, says school is set to start in 3 weeks. Reconstruction for over 1,200 schools that were destroyed or damaged by the earthquake may take years to complete. That's according to UNICEF. The main reason for schools not being rebuilt are lack of funds and delays by insecurity. UNICEF also pointed out that it has rebuilt 234 classrooms and provided school kits to over 74,000 students. Additionally, almost 100 high-performance tents were installed in damaged schools. Last year, CNN reported that at least 1,200 people were killed and more than 5,700 injured in the quake that struck on August 14th. That's according to the country's Civil Protection Agency. Well, switching gears now to the cruise industry. The cruise industry is back, and with COVID restrictions now loosening, demand is skyrocketing. So where should you go for the best deals, and is it best to book your trip now or should you wait? Emily Akeda has everything you need to know.
It's full steam ahead for cruisers. Most lines now relaxing their vaccination and testing requirements, and reservations are through the roof. At Norwegian, ticket sales for next year up 40% compared to pre-pandemic levels, and at Carnival, bookings have nearly doubled.
There's been a massive surge, At our agency, we're looking at 200 to 300% increase of bookings from just 2 weeks ago.
Strict vaccine rules were essential to the cruise industry's comeback last summer, when the CDC made it all but impossible for the unvaccinated to sail, and most passengers had to show proof of a negative test. But last week, the agency relaxed its COVID guidelines, on top of dropping the mandate that cruise lines had to report their cases. In response, most companies loosening their rules, requiring less testing for vaccinated passengers and allowing the unvaccinated on board with proof of a negative test.
We're just ready for everything to get back to normal.
During the pandemic, avid cruiser Danielle Matthews couldn't bring her kids along because they're unvaccinated. Now they're all booked on a cruise to Cozumel in October.
The kids were just ecstatic that they finally, get to do this now.
But not all cruise fans are thrilled with the relaxed rules. One survey finding 56% say they prefer most passengers be vaccinated, and 44% say they wouldn't feel safe on board.
That said, another half are fully ready to start moving into that new era where unvaccinated passengers are allowed on board.
Staffing shortages have left some lines struggling to meet demand, forcing them to limit capacity and cut back on amenities. Many now enticing customers with great deals. On MSC, a one-night Mediterranean cruise for $49 a person, plus taxes and fees. On Holland America, 7 nights to Canada and New England for $129. On Royal Caribbean, a 4-night Bahamas cruise for $129. And on Norwegian, 40% off all cruises through the end of the month.
Now's a great time to book because there's availability, quite frankly. We're starting to see that disappear. And if you want to go, you're going to need to book while there's still space.